So today is our joint team meeting between the Super Crew and the Fit Plus It Squad. I'm Samantha Forrest, for those of you on the Super Crew who are not familiar with me, which most of you should be. Brittany and I are success partners, and we do a lot of things together, so you'll get to know me a little bit better. Today we have a special guest speaker, Tatiana Amico. She is in my area of the country, in the Buffalo, New York area, and she is a 2015 elite coach, a 5-star diamond coach. I believe 2-star in your husband's and 1-star in your second, or it's flip-flopped. I'm sorry. And that's pretty awesome because she's also a mom, and she just recently, I believe within the past year, had a baby. So she's a pretty badass woman that has been rocking this business despite all of the excuses that she could have. And so I've seen her baby wearing at our Super Saturdays, and her kids are always in tow with her. And I found it a little inspiring and decided to ask her to come on the call because a lot of us are parents. And I know that a lot of us can use that as an excuse sometimes of why we can't get things done. And she's obviously proven that you can. So without further ado, I'll let her jump on and give us all a little pep talk and be on our merry way this evening.
Hi, thanks for having me. Yes, I'm going to try and keep this short because I realize that 'tis the season of wanting to not be on very long calls. So yeah, I'm Tatiana Amico, and you were correct in what you said. And also, yeah, I have a 4-year-old and I have a baby. I had her 2 days before I was told I went elite last year. So I was working my off up until that moment. So I'm really quick, I'm just going to tell you the biggest things that have helped me is, mindset. The moment that really quick, I'll tell you, is that I started as a coach in 2013, in November of 2013, but I actually had an insanity program that was burned. I did not buy one. I'm actually looking back at posts from that year, and I kept posting about how I was doing insanity. And my coach reached out to me, and I told her no a bunch of times because I didn't want to be salesy. I didn't think I could do it. It just wasn't my jam. But finally, I was sitting on my couch one night, and I was sick of being broke. I was sick of being, at this point, my son was a little over a year. I had been laid off, so I had no money coming in. I was sick of having to ask my husband for money. I'm pretty intelligent. I went to school, I did all of that, and I was feeling really crappy about myself, that I was doing nothing. And I knew I wanted to help other people. So when I say nothing, I know being a mom is not nothing, but I'm going to guess you moms know what I mean. I just needed something more. And I finally said yes. I had no money. I was like this, putting my credit card info in, my husband was right there. And I just was like, la, 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 la. I'm going to have to figure this shit out because I don't want him to know that I'm putting money on this credit card and I got nothing in the bank. So, and I'm also very bullheaded, and I didn't want to ask him for money. So that was another thing. So I said, I got to make this work. I did nothing for 2 months because it was the holidays and I was focused on that. I had a trip, all this stuff. Then I went to a Super Saturday in January, and that was it for me. I saw other people doing it, and I flipped my mindset to, instead of saying I could never do something like that, to, okay, she's doing it, she's doing it, she's doing it. I can do it too. This is happening. And I basically decided that day that by the time my son was, walking and doing his thing and was kind of like a human, that I wanted to be there and I'm very big into freedom. I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And it really came down to a decision. And that is when I started doing personal development. So you guys hear it all the time, but you got to have that deep reason why. Another thing that I did was I went to a chalene. I invested. I'm very big into investing in myself. If you knew how much money I've invested, like going to see Tony Robbins, the amount of personal development I've done. I mean, I've basically invested so much money into myself, into my mind, into everything, because that is the most important. And I love that our business is all about that. But anyway, at the Chalene Johnson event, she said, write down your perfect day, this day that you would just love to have. And that was huge for me. I had to do it because I was like, at this event, everyone's doing it. I had to. I started crying, of course, and I put it up in my office and I could see it every single day. So it was kind of like a vision board, but it was very detailed as to what I wanted that day to be. And I'm going to tell you right now, it's basically all come true in some form or another. So if you want it bad enough, you can do it. So yeah, let's see. So have that deep reason why, right? If you don't have it yet, you need to have it. And you have to be doing personal development every single day, especially during this time of year when things get tough. You have to be, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've been struggling. I'm seeing everybody else struggle, but every day I pick up a book. I have so many. I was reading this one, May Cause Miracles. That's really deep stuff. So if you're ready to get into that, go for it. But every day I'm doing some sort of personal development. When I wake up, in the car, anything, I make it happen. Okay. So that's the biggest thing that I suggest for you guys. I'm going to get into something that has really, really helped me grow my business, just grow in general. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Are you good? Can you see it? And all my messy backdrop. I'm not organized. I will tell you that right now. I'm also a tab whore. Okay, so super important. You're not just a Beachbody coach. You're a person. You have passions. Think about what your passions are. What do you love talking about? Think of who you were before you were a coach, right? What do you love to talk about? What do you love helping others with? And it does not just have to be fitness. It does not just have to be food, anything related to the business. It could be other things. So these are some questions to ask yourself. Other things also is think about what you love about this business. What has it done for you? I know we get caught up sometimes in like thinking about the money, but when I first started, I wasn't making anything, but it was changing me. The community was helping me so much. The personal development was helping me so much. I was sharing that. I was sharing how excited I was about what I knew was going to happen because I was continuing on. So think about that. Then something else that I would struggle with is, what are you an expert in? And I think that when we hear that word, we think we have to be like a doctor, like we have to have a degree in something. And that is not true. Like, what is something that people ask you about all the time? When you start getting these questions from people, write them down. Make videos about them. I'll talk about that in a second. But that you are known as the expert. If people are coming to you and asking you questions, bam, you're an expert to them. So think about it that way. And that's why I said don't overthink this, because I did a lot. Next, your story. This is super, 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 super important. And this is another one that I feel like people think they have to have this big dramatic story, and it's not true. It can literally be like, you stopped drinking pop. Like, that's a big deal. That could be a really big deal for others. But let's take it deeper, right? So something to think about is really think about how you were feeling before you made the decision to invest in a program, before you made a decision to become a coach. How were you feeling? Like the deep stuff. The not having confidence, not wanting to be in pictures, not having energy to hang with your kids, not having money to go buy yourself underwear and having to ask your husband for money to go buy underwear. Like, that was hard for me. So I share things like that. What was your aha or as I like to call it, your oh shit moment. Like really think about it. I can, like I said, on the couch, I can feel how I was feeling that day. I could picture it. I could feel it. I could remember the day that I woke up and I was sick of feeling like crap every day. I was sick of being afraid of going into the closet and not fitting into clothes. I was sick of then getting up and going into the bathroom and not wanting to look in the mirror. Like I could feel that. And I talk about that a lot. Then why did you decide to make a change and become a coach? So again, what was that deciding factor that made you do that? And then how has your life changed since? And you could definitely like journal this out and make this big long story, but then you can also take little bits and pieces. I'll be triggered a lot. Like just for example, if I'm at the grocery store and I'm going through the line and I like would see like a Snickers bar, I used to binge on Snickers. And I don't do that anymore. So that's a part of my story. So think of little things like that. Anytime you ever get triggered, you could maybe have like notes in your phone, or we just had a team call. One of the coaches said she brings a notebook with her wherever she goes. But, you decide and just say, remember that, just to do a post about it, to share about that, because it's really important. People need to hear that. Then your brand. So kind of like your passions, like what do you want to be known for? Not just Beachbody, what do you want to be known for? What do you want people to think of when they hear your name or see your face? For me, I want people to think of someone that helps women realize that they can go after whatever they want and that they should be putting themselves first and taking care of themselves. That's what I want to be known for. I want to be known as like the badass mom that like goes after her dreams. That is what I want to be known for. And helping women do that, and empowering women and all that stuff. So really know what it is that you want to be known for. When I first started, I was known, and I want to say also, this is really important, know that this can change, and it will change, because you change, you learn and grow. You fail, remember, you will fail many, many times, and that is okay, because when you fail, that means that you're actually learning, it means that you're acting, it means that you're growing, and it is cool, and you should be happy if you are a failure. If you ever heard that before, probably not, or maybe you have, but it is like, when you fail, it just means that you're doing. So when I first started, I was known as like like green smoothie. I was known for green smoothies. I was known for like learning about organic and all of that stuff. And since then, like I'm more known as the getting all like woo woo and knowing that you could do anything that you want and positivity and all of that. So, okay, this is big too. You need to know your person. So you need to know who you want to help, who you want to work with. When I first started, I was like, oh, work with anybody. Anybody can buy a challenge pack. Some of the people I got, I was like, no, my energy would get so drained. It was really hard. So I get it. You want to help everybody. I did. I wanted to help the world. I wanted to change every single person, but it was like killing me. I wasn't talking directly to anybody, so I was all over the place. It was hard for me to do posts. I was nervous about what everybody would think about me, about what I said. Oh my gosh, am I going to offend so-and-so and blah, blah, blah. Screw that. You need to know your person. You need to know why they're frustrated. You need to know why they're unhappy. You need to know what keeps them up at night, what they would pay any amount of money to have a solution for, and what they want. And by the way, this person is probably the old you, usually, right? But again, know this person, know all these little things. When you write your story, if this is you, know what, say that in your posts and stuff. Be talking literally to this person. Don't worry about anybody else. You're talking to this person all the time. It'll make your life so much easier, I promise. Oh my gosh, it helped me so much when I finally did that. Okay, so like I said, speak to them and know that it's about them. It's not about you. It is about them. It's about them. Your posts are about them. Even if I'm speaking about myself in my posts, I know that I'm really talking to them. And I get so many messages, I'll get so many comments, everything. Oh my God, it's like you're in my head. I'm like, I know, because I am in your head. I know what you're thinking. So, you say that, and I mean, people will just be like, she gets me, she understands, she's been there, she wants to help, she's overcome it. Or even if you're still on your journey, they know that at least you're doing it. Okay, this is big for me, adding value every single day. This, adding value in some way. Again, when you know who you're talking to, you're going to know what they need and how you can add value to their life. So you need to think about this. What is it? Maybe it's posting recipes. Maybe it's just a meme that just whatever it might be. And like I say, how to make it different, add your story into posts. So by doing this, you could do the social media posts and videos. Of course, if you guys aren't doing live, try and do live, because that's really getting exposure on Facebook a lot. And plus, people get to know you, and you get to interact with people, and it's cool. It's scary at first, but we all know what happens when you overcome your fears. So other things, if you do, blog posts, emails, free challenges, webinars, ebooks, but like I do a lot, like I'll say I have bonuses with challenge pack purchases. Again, I do a lot of mindset stuff. So I make sure to tell people that they get stuff like that. A lot of this stuff you might consider to be advanced, but I'm big into figuring out what else can I be doing to grow my business. So from the beginning, I'm going to be honest, I did this stuff from the beginning. I didn't wait. I saw what the successful people were doing, and I just did it. I didn't wait. That's another thing that I do a lot, is I just act like this. I don't wait around. If I see someone successful doing something, I'm like, boom, I do it. I figure it out and I do it. That's just how I've always been. Okay, so adding value. Okay, I just said that. Take action and be you. So super important, again, be taking action, be you, add value, always think daily. I've been saying, like, you want to be that light in someone's day. There's so much negativity going on right now. It was like last month. It was so bad. I refused to get wrapped into it. I was just always making sure that I was the light in someone's day by posting something that would benefit people. Every single day I did that. That's pretty much all I had to say. I feel like there was something I was going to say and I totally forgot, but basically adding value is a big thing for me, and people will know you for that, and they will respect you, and you could build relationships that way too. Do you guys have any questions? I'll stop screen sharing.
Anybody?
Jack has questions.
Guys, Casey, you got a question, or Jack does?
Jack does.
I always have questions.
Good.
Thank you for joining us tonight.
Yeah, no problem. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. In the very beginning, you talked about how much you've invested in personal development. And Darren Hardy and Jim Rohn, they all talk about 10%. Would you say that that's the guideline you use, or do you even have a ballpark and how much you what caught my attention was you talked about the Tony Robbins seminar you've been to. Which one did you go to?
I went to UPW,
Okay.
Unleash the Power Within, which wasn't a huge investment, but then while I was there, I invested in another one that I have to go to. I'm so bad with money. Like I give everything to my husband to figure out. I'll know how much I invested when taxes roll around.
Yeah.
Everyone's different, right? Like I'm going to be honest, like we're not in any horrible financial situation. So I was able to take that money and do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what happens when you invest in yourself. So.
Right. So I'm considering investing in Tony Robbins myself. Would you say that's definitely the way to go?
So it depends on your needs. I was feeling very stuck. I was feeling like, I don't know.
Are you familiar with Derek Depker?
What's up?
Do you know who Derek Depker is?
No.
He wrote a book called Why You're Stuck.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How do you spell it? Derek.
Doepker. It was 99 cents last week on Kindle. It was one of the specials.
Okay,
Thanks
cool.
for sharing, Jack. No.
Yeah, I'll check that out. But
He's a beach body coach.
okay.
Is he?
Yeah, he's like probably just like Emerald or something, but he's under Jimmy Britton.
Mm-hmm.
So he came to our Super Saturday, and then Derek Depker came to our Super Saturday in St. Louis not too long ago.
We're Facebook friends. We chat all the time.
Well, yeah, I'll check that out. But yeah, I was just feeling, how long into the business was I? I don't know. I was a couple years in, and I just was feeling stuck. I was like, what do I want to do with my life? Like all of that stuff, which is totally normal. And I actually, when I was in Cancun, I ran into for the Success Club trip, I ran into Amy Silverman, and I went up to her and I was like, if there's one thing, she's like, go to UPW. So I was like, literally, I came home and I bought the ticket. So that really helped. That did help. I mean, if you're dealing with fear and limiting beliefs, that will snap you out of those very quickly. Right. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still kind of, going through this. What do I want to be doing? Figuring that stuff out, because my whole life I had, I did what society told me to do. Right. So I'm now trying to remember who I was. Have you guys seen that meme? Like, be who you are before society told you. That's me right now.
Right.
So I'm figuring that out. But yeah, I mean, yeah, it was good. He's pretty awesome.
Okay. That's all I needed to hear.
Yeah.
He's buying his ticket now on his phone.
You can get discounted tickets. I'll give you my guy's name. His I'll send it to you.
Okay.
Can you please remind me? It's Michael Anna. I'll give you his email.
Okay.
Because there's a whole group Beachbody group rates.
Gotcha.
You'll save a lot.
I'll forward you the info, Jack. I'll message her later when we hang up so that we both don't forget. Yeah, like mom brain, just kind of like, woo! Well, I guess for some of the moms and dads, because I know Jack and Adam are here too, you've clearly had some success in the business. So if you had to say, when you're going through like crazy times, because obviously you just had a baby, that's not like, that's a huge shift in your family dynamic, and you have to then adjust your sales. So what would you say, like, the biggest things? Now, we all know that you guys need to do the vital behaviors, okay? Like, that should be like a no-brainer. But what would you say would be like maybe 3 of the biggest things that people should be doing even during like crazy times?
Okay, so one is adding the value every day. Be consistent with that every single day, because they're going to remember you when they have their oh shit moment in January. So you need to be consistent. Another thing that I just started doing in my trying to get organized, I've been having like, moms, you probably feel me on this, like massive like mind. I'm just like, what? I can't even think today. So I have really amazing posts from the past. So I've been you could create a Google Doc, or you could, I'm using Evernote, and I'm adding all these posts in there I wish I had started from the beginning. Or Time Hop, hello, that's like my savior, because I'm like, oh man, this got a ton of likes and comments. I'm just going to reuse this. I don't share it from Time Hop. I take the picture or whatever, and I share it like new. Nobody remembers this stuff. Nobody's going to remember what I posted freaking last week. So, reuse content if you're having brain farts, because it happens. Know that you are not alone with that. Because sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, like what's wrong with me? But I know we all deal with that. So reuse content, but make sure you're consistent. That's just the biggest thing, is just being consistent, making sure you're there, making sure people know. Anytime you're posting something, say, I'm here to help you. Reach out to me for help. You don't have to say, please, for the love of God, don't ever say this. Don't buy a challenge pack for me. Like, that's like the worst thing ever. People know that you are the go-to. People need to know that you're the go-to, because if you're not saying it, they're not going to know. Seriously, like sometimes I'm like, I'll still get people that are like, wait, you can help me? And I'm like, what? Yeah. So the value, the consistency, for moms, like I struggled with this a lot in the beginning. Was I wanted to do this so I could stay home with my kids. It was very difficult to run a business and have focused time when my kid was all around me. And my mom was like, you need to get some help. And I was like, but no, I can't do that because I'm supposed to be this like perfect, running this business and blah, blah, blah. And my kid's supposed to be there. And finally I was like, all right. And I do get someone to watch my children for a few hours a week so that I can have focused work done. Is that good? Does that answer? Yeah. Because I mean, we could talk about the vitals all day long, but I do believe that.
Well, that's why I said, like, we all know we need to do the vital behaviors. Like, that should be a no-brainer. But I always tell people, like, that I talk to, if I have, like, a crazy time in my life or the day gets away from me, if I do nothing else, I'm always posting on social media. Always. Just because, for what you said, I've literally had 4 people message me between yesterday and today asking me for help. I didn't have to reach out to those people, but it's because I'm always posting, and your before and after pictures help because I just posted them on Monday. So
yeah, and like I said, the whole story thing, you should definitely be posting some sort of a part of your story at least twice a week. Like it doesn't have to be the whole story, just little breadcrumbs at least twice a week. I'm sure I do it more than that. I can find a way to do it daily. Like I just, just remembering, just when I get triggered, I just come up with something. That again, see, I'm losing it, but yeah, the value and the relationship building and that's, the relationship building is important. I just did a video the other day because I'm getting massive messages from like unique people and stuff like that have not once even asked how I am, and will message me, hey, can you buy something? Because I have a bonus to hit. And I was like, are you kidding me? And then, I'll call them out. And the one lady was like, well, I've commented on some of your pictures. I'm like, girl, do you know how many, like, I don't know you. I'm sorry. Like, I kind of felt bad saying that, but I'm like, at least ask how I am. Even if you would have asked how I was, maybe I would have, I had to throw that out there because I'm still mad about it.
yeah, no, I get messages like that all the time too. And I just had one recently and was like, really? Like, she literally accepted she sent a friend request to me and I accepted it. And then I got a message in my inbox immediately asking me to buy stuff from her.
Yeah, and
I was blown away.
Like all of this a bad name, and that's not cool. And I use it as a teachable moment. They can decide to be coachable and teachable or not. I actually had one like come back at me and be all mad, and I'm like, I'm teaching you something here, like, so whatevs. But
exactly. Okay, so probably one last question so everybody can get going. But so you had said that, you have somebody that helps you now and you can have your focused time to work on your business. So during that focused time when your children are not around you, what are you able to focus on?
For that, I mean, I try not to really respond to messages like in the middle of I'm doing other things because I can't think. So that is when I will get back to people. I'm big into making sure that I am connecting with past clients, current customers. I'll try and do like a live video because at least I know that I won't have disruptions. Sometimes I kind of think sometimes it's okay to be disrupted because then people know you're real, but all the time that kind of gets annoying. So, or I'll take that time to come up with things that I can give of value throughout the rest of the week. Maybe create your posts for the rest of the week and then you just have them to post. I'm not a huge fan of like the those things that will post directly for you because sometimes it doesn't reach. I just don't trust it with Facebook algorithms. So, maybe create all your value and stuff then so then you can share it. I do more advanced stuff. So that's some other stuff that I'll do that I'm not even going to go there with you. But that's some other stuff. Honestly, what it is value stuff. So again, like value. I'm just so big into that. So.
Awesome. Does anybody else have anything or Nicole?
I can't hear you. Nicole.
Can you type it in chat?
Well, I have to go to sleep too. I have to get up early.
We're all patiently waiting.
I know.
I'm like, oh my God, this could be good.
Yeah.
Watch it be like 3 words. I'll be like, damn, girl. Like, shoot.
I need to pee, but your son's fucking in there. And I want to go to bed.
I have not shared my full story with anyone and would really like to because there are things I have never shared. I wanted to make a video of the story. Do you think that's a bad idea? I should just do the breadcrumbs. No. If you have not shared your story, go full out if you want to. I did the first time I did, and I'm going to tell you right now, that day when my coach was like, you need to share your story, and I shared it, and I shut the computer down. I was crying. I probably drank a beer. But that changed my business. That changed my business because people had no clue.
Now, would you recommend a live video and then it being saved, or would you recommend pre-recording to post? I found that with live videos, there's so much more dynamic and there's so much more, just more amazing all around.
I love it because people will be giving you saying all this stuff. But if you're doing live, any video, make sure you have what you're going to be saying. Make sure you have it written down so you're not like all over the place because that can happen. Just make sure that you have it. The baby.
Like an outline.
And yes, that is the word that I was looking for. And what I do suggest is maybe even share your story with your team first and see, and just to get an idea of, I don't know, sometimes it's just easier to do that first. I mean, that's on you, your comfort level. I didn't, I just went out and put it out there, but, if you want to do that, and then, you share, sometimes I will share like the whole thing every once in a while, but, throughout the week, then do that. But like tomorrow, I have an epic post waiting to be shared.
Can't wait to see it.
And it will have a call out in it, So.
I know.
Yeah.
Brittany recently read the Jab, 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 Right Hook book that helped figure out how to do the postings, where you are just like, you're not making call to action posts every day because that gets obnoxious. But, like I posted my before pictures yesterday. I posted about my food plan today. And then tomorrow I'm going to be asking people to join my challenge group. So, that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And again, like as long as you are giving a ton of value, all the time, they're not gonna, they're gonna be like, this girl is freaking awesome. She's always giving value. She's always uplifting people. And then you throw that out there, you'd be like, good for her, so think about it that way.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, we can.
And I can relate. I was asked to speak for a friend that owns a fitness company. And before I went and talked, I was kind of sharing with my husband. And there were things that he didn't even know about me that I was going through in my lowest time. So I'm like, if he didn't even know this stuff, then obviously my like the people that I talk to daily don't know this kind of stuff. So I was trying to decide if I wanted to do live, if I wanted to make a video where I can add pictures to go back from like where I was prior to gaining my weight while I was heavy and whatnot. But my second question was, I do stay home with my kids. I have a 1-year-old and a 3-year-old. And I don't often get a chance to just sit down and focus my computer like I want to, and that's definitely a goal of mine. But sometimes I feel guilty when I take time away from them to focus on my business for a few minutes, even if it's just responding to one message. Did you ever have that sense of like guilt where you're like, maybe I shouldn't be doing this until they're in kindergarten? And if you did, how did you overcome that, like feeling?
Yeah, I did. And I'm going to be honest, I worked really, really hard when Mateo was, again, like 15-ish months till I worked really hard for like 6 months. And I did sometimes feel guilty, but I always would remember, all right, what is going to come out of this because of the work I'm putting in this, and how this is going to affect our family in such a positive, amazing way, and me, like I'm filling my own cup so that then I'm a better mom and everything. So that's like always what I kept in the back of my mind. And I mean, what it has done for our family is pretty unbelievable. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be like, my mom is the bomb.com for like, like doing everything that I have done. And that is one of my big whys, is I want my kids to know that they can do anything that they want to do. And I just said this today, our actions are going to speak louder than our words. So I completely feel you on that, but are you doing that the majority of the time? Are you giving them love? Are they feeling the love? Are you giving them love all the time? Like, do you love on them like crazy?
Oh my gosh, yes, absolutely. And I remind myself too, like, and it's already showing, because my daughter will be playing with her babies and she'll say, okay, I'm going to take you to grandma's and you can exercise. So I'm going to go exercise. So I know she's watching me and I know she's picking up on my habits. So I do have to remind myself, but like I said, I don't get that time to just sit down and focus solely on my business like I would like to, now that my husband's laid off because he's construction. That is an ultimate goal of mine. But it's just that guilt of not having done this 6 months ago, where I could focus on them all the time, where I feel like now I'm taking it away. But you're right, in the end they will thank me, hopefully.
They will. Not hopefully, they will.
Right.
So only 1 and 3, they're not going to remember anyway.
I tell myself, I'm like, I
again, if you are loving on that, like if you're loving on them all the time, you're good.
Okay.
What they will remember is when they're in 2nd and 3rd grade, and because you worked your ass off when they were little and they don't remember it, that you were able to be on their field trip.
Yes.
They'll remember that stuff. They're not going to remember that you took a half an hour of your day to go talk to a couple of people about your sales. Like,
yeah,
very true.
My mom was a single mom. She worked her ass off, and she did a lot. She was not around a lot because she worked a lot and she was part of committees and did all this stuff. And I'm the woman I am now because of that. Like, for real.
I can totally relate. My mom missed volleyball games and field trips and Christmas, choir things because she had to work. So yeah, I can definitely relate.
Yeah. So so I'm the hardworking woman I am now because of that, but I'm also I've decided that I don't want to miss that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So it's too. So if you're, sorry, I have to go, but if your husband is laid off, is he home to like be with them so that you can work on stuff?
Yes, we are like middle of finishing our basement so that they actually have a quiet area they can go away from me and I can be upstairs. So we're like probably a week away from having that done. And that's when I know I can take 2 or 3 hours when my daughter's at preschool for a couple hours to just focus solely on this while he's with the 1-year-old. So
yeah, I would say like, I mean, and figure out like the date, like by this day I want to be, you know, figure out those goals. I'm sure you guys have talked about that, but the goal is to be so that, you know.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right, I gotta go.
So much again for joining us. We really appreciate it, and all of your awesome tips. I'm sure a lot of the parents on the call can take these and roll with them for 2017, because that is literally around the corner now. So thank you again for joining, and I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll be creeping on your page tomorrow to see that epic post.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
Nice.